Have you ever wondered how a simple football tournament became the biggest sporting event on Earth? Today, billions of people watch the FIFA World Cup. Entire countries stop working, streets become empty, families gather around televisions, and for 1 month the world is united by one game. But it wasn't always this way. The story of the FIFA World Cup begins nearly 100 years ago. Before the World Cup existed, international football was played mainly at the Olympic Games. Football was becoming more popular every year, but many people believed the sport deserved its own global competition. One man was determined to make that dream a reality. His name was Jules Rimet. As the president of FIFA, Rimet worked tirelessly to create an international football tournament where the best nations in the world could compete against each other. Finally, in 1930, the dream became reality. The first FIFA World Cup was held in Uruguay. Only 13 teams participated. Traveling across the world was expensive and difficult. Many European countries had to cross the Atlantic Ocean by ship, a journey that took weeks. Despite the challenges, teams arrived from Europe, North America, and South America. The final match was played between Uruguay and Argentina. In front of a passionate crowd, Uruguay won 4-2 and became the first FIFA World Cup champion in history. Nobody knew it at the time, but they had just witnessed the birth of a global phenomenon. The next World Cups were held in 1934 and 1938. Football's popularity continued to grow. Then the world changed. World War II erupted, bringing devastation across continents. Because of the war, the 1942 and 1946 World Cups were cancelled. For 12 years, the world's greatest football tournament disappeared. Finally, in 1950, the World Cup returned. Brazil was chosen as the host nation. Millions of fans were excited to see international football again. The tournament produced one of the greatest shocks in sports history. Brazil only needed a draw in the final match to become champions. Almost 200,000 fans packed the famous Maracanã Stadium in Rio de Janeiro. The celebration was already prepared. But football had other plans. Uruguay stunned the world by defeating Brazil 2-1. The shocked silence inside the stadium became legendary. To this day, Brazilians remember that defeat as one of the most heartbreaking moments in their sporting history. As football entered the 1950s and 1960s, new heroes emerged. Then came a young boy who would change football forever. His name was Pelé. In 1958, at just 17 years old, Pelé helped Brazil win its first World Cup. The teenager amazed the world with incredible skill, confidence, and goals. He would go on to win 3 World Cups, a record that still stands today. Pelé transformed football into a truly global sport. As television became common in homes around the world, millions of people could now watch the World Cup live. The tournament was no longer just a sporting event. It was becoming a worldwide spectacle. Over the following decades, football produced legendary stars. In 1986, Diego Maradona led Argentina to glory in Mexico. His performances became the stuff of legend. Many fans still consider him one of the greatest footballers of all time. Then came stars like Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Zinedine Zidane, David Beckham, and countless others. Every generation produced new heroes. Every World Cup created unforgettable memories. As football spread across the globe, FIFA continued expanding the tournament. The original competition featured just 13 teams. Later it grew to 16 teams. Then 24. Then 32. Each expansion allowed more nations to participate. Countries from Africa, Asia, North America, and the Middle East began making their mark on football history. Underdogs started defeating giants. New football cultures emerged. The World Cup truly became a tournament for the entire world. By the 21st century, the FIFA World Cup had become one of the most watched events on the planet. Billions of viewers tuned in from every corner of the globe. Major brands spent hundreds of millions of dollars to be associated with the tournament. Host nations invested billions in stadiums, transportation systems, and infrastructure. The World Cup had evolved into much more than football. It became a celebration of humanity. different languages, different cultures, different traditions, all united by one shared passion. Then came one of the most anticipated stories in football history. Lionel Messi's quest for the World Cup. For years, Messi had won almost everything possible in football. But one trophy remained missing from his collection. The FIFA World Cup. In 2022, in Qatar, Messi finally got his chance. Argentina battled through the tournament and reached the final against defending champions France. What followed was one of the greatest matches ever played. The game ended in dramatic fashion and went to penalties. When the final penalty was scored, Argentina became world champions. Lionel Messi lifted the World Cup trophy for the first time in his career. Millions of fans celebrated across the world. For many people, it was the perfect ending to one of football's greatest careers. Now the World Cup is entering a new chapter. The 2026 FIFA World Cup will be hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico. For the first time ever, 48 nations will compete. More teams, more matches, more drama, more history. It will be the largest World Cup ever organized. Millions of fans are expected to travel across North America to witness football's biggest event. The world's best players will compete for the most prestigious trophy in sport. And somewhere among them, a new legend will be born. From 13 teams in Uruguay in 1930 to a tournament watched by billions around the globe, the FIFA World Cup has come a long way. It has survived wars, created heroes, united nations, and delivered unforgettable moments for nearly a century. The FIFA World Cup is more than a football tournament. It is a story of dreams, passion, triumph, heartbreak, and hope. And every 4 years, the world gathers once again to write the next chapter. Who will become the next world champion? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. The greatest show in football is far from over. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more amazing sports documentaries and inspiring stories from around the world.